Hey, what's up? My name is Yotam, and welcome to my Solidworks Exercises for Beginners. Today in Exercise 1.5, we'll be practicing some of the tools that we learned in my last tutorial by recreating the 2012 Model Mania part from Solidworks. So as always, before I get started, I like to choose a plane to start my first sketch off of. And today I'm going to choose this right plane, because I see lots of circular profiles that need to be extruded. So to get started, I'm going to go to File, New, make sure I have Part selected, OK. Select the right plane, Sketch, and actually before I do that, I'm going to exit the sketch, and I'm going to change my units of measurement. Right now I have my default set as inch pound seconds. I'm going to change that to millimeter gram seconds, because that's the units that they use in the drawing. Then I'm going to select my right plane, Sketch, and I'm going to start sketching out the geometry. It's once again prompting me to automatically input the measurements as I'm sketching, and that's just a preference that you can set. And I'm going to set that to 14. Enter, and it'll automatically smart dimension it for me. So now this circle is fully defined, and that's super convenient because I don't have to use my smart dimension tool and go back and forth and all that. All right, so now I'm going to make the other two circles over here. Whoops, forgot to input the value there. So this has to be 18. Check, and just double click this to change it, and 18. Enter, and set these two to horizontal. Great. And now I'm going to create an arc from this circle to this circle. And I have to check this dimension. I don't remember what it was. It's 50 radius. So 50 millimeter radius, enter. Check. Go to smart dimension, make sure that value sticks. All right. And then set these tangent. I need to make sure I escape from the smart dimension tool. Set these as tangent, and this to tangent as well. All right, then I'm going to create a line from here. And if I take my cursor and hover back over the endpoint of the line, it'll automatically select the tangent arc tool. And that's perfect because I just need an arc to go from there to here. All right, check. And then I'm going to check to see what dimensions those are meant to be. This has a 100-inch radius, or 100 millimeter radius, rather. And then I need to create another 15 millimeter radius arc between these two. All right. So let's create another arc here. This has a radius of 15. Check. Make sure these are tangent. Same thing for this larger arc. Tangent. And then select Smart Dimension tool. Set that to a 100-inch radius. Or millimeter. Excuse me. Then I need to set the distance between these two circles, which was 24 millimeters. And don't worry, I'll fix this in a second. Let me just check what the other dimensions are. From this circle to here is 100, so let's set that now. All right, check. Let's see, from here to these circles is 30. And that should be it. Seems to be something, right, I have to smart dimension this and set that to 15 millimeters. Then I'm just going to add these holes in here. Let's see what size they are. They both have diameters of 9 millimeters. So I'm going to set those diameters as I sketch. 9 millimeters. 9 millimeters. Enter. Now my sketch is fully defined, so I can go ahead and create some features. First feature I'm going to create is just a simple extrude of all this geometry, other than these two holes, of course. And I need to extrude it by 24 millimeters. So let's extrude, select all the contours I need, and make that 24 millimeters. And I'm also just going to select midplane because it'll make it symmetrical around the sketch plane, and because I have to add more features later, like these cut features here, I'd prefer to have my part in the middle, but it's just a minor convenience. All right, so now I'm going to go to my top plane and sketch out the cuts that I have to make on this top plane. So let's select Control 8 to center myself. And then I'm going to create a rectangle over here. All right, and a line from here to here. And I'm just going to select the tangent arc again by hovering back over the endpoint of the line and creating this arc like that. Check. Now I have to dimension some of it, so let's see what the dimensions are. I need, all right, 8 millimeters from here to here. And it wants me to dimension this end of the cutout to one of the holes. So I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. And then this is 65 by 8. Okay. Smart Dimension tool. This has to be 8 from this line to the wall is also 8. All right. And this radius is 20 millimeters. Okay. Let me just make sure I got that right. And from the end of this arc, Smart Dimension, from the end of this arc to here has to be 65. And now I'm going to set the 35 millimeter distance from the center of this hole to here. And what I'm going to have to do that is select this sketch, the first sketch I did, and show it. And then I can select this point from my first sketch and this line. There we go, 35. And then that just means if I ever move this, the location of this circle in the original sketch, then this dimension will move as well. All right, now I need to set this centered on the right plane, so I can right-click, select midpoint, and I will select this line as well, and add the midpoint relation, check. And there we go. If I select Control 8, center myself, and now I'm going to close off this contour here, just close it so that I can create an extruded cut feature off of it. And then I'm going to select, just window select this whole feature here, or all these contours, and select mirror entities. Actually, before I do that, I have to create a center line. So I can press on this drop-down menu, select a center line, and just sketch from here to here. And now I have something to mirror my geometry about. So I'm going to select all this again and select the center line and click on mirror entities. There we go. And this point isn't constrained to anything, so I'm just going to drag it and constrain it to the origin. There we go. And now I'm going to create my extruded cut feature. Whoops, that is the wrong feature. Extruded cut feature. Make sure I have all the contours I want selected. Select through all both. Check. And there we go. And I'm going to hide my first sketch just so that it doesn't get in the way. And now I need to add some fillet features. So let's see where I need those fillets. They are all 2 millimeter fillets. And it looks like it goes around every single corner on the part. So all I have to do is select the fillet tool and select any of the edges. And select this right here, which will select all the edges. Except it doesn't go around these circular edges here, so I'm going to make sure I deselect those. All right, right over here, deselect all of these. And there are faster ways to do this. You could select faces and such. And now I'm going to change this to 2 millimeters and press check. So that'll be it for the geometry of this part. Now if I'd like to add some appearances, I can right-click on a surface, click on Appearance, Feature, or Fillet, rather. Change that color to red, check. And do the same thing for the body, right-click a face, Appearance, Body, and set that color to yellow. There we go. So that'll be it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.